Hi, this is Bonnie, and this weekend DiesRUs is having a special order sale, and there are a lot of dies from, I don't know, several companies. I will have that information, the link to that, and there's also 3D embossing folders, a lot of them, and so I wanted to share with you two of the items that I have already purchased that and how you can combine these two if you'd like. So the first one I'm going to be using is called it's from Lisa Horton, and there's a lot of her embossing folders. There's also ones from Nellie's Choice. There's several. You need to really look because there's a lot to choose from. And this one's called Budding Bloom, and it's 6x6. It looks like that. It's kind of cool. And also they have a lot of Tonic Studios dies, and I've been wanting to use this for a while and I haven't. It is, as you can see, very substantial. It's quite large, the packaging. And so in order to get into this packaging, I had to cut the top. And I wanted to show you, this actually pulls out of that. Then you can use this as a pocket if you want. There we go. And this is the die. It's very substantial. It's really cool. And I am going to be making this. It's called, I'm sorry, I meant to tell you, it's called a Vanity Box and Memory Book Die Set. If you read this a little bit more, basically it tells you if you want to turn this into a book, there's also a, and I did not see this in DiesRUs, but there's also a, I'm trying to remember what's, a spine. You can buy the spines die set. And that's item 2279E. Anyway, that's what you can use to create this if you want to make it into a mini book. So that's not what I'm going to be working on today, but I just wanted you to know that when they say that in here, it's a memory book die set, it means you can turn it into that if you buy the spine. So here are some more examples on the back of what they did, and it's really cool too if you take a peek. Here on the front, there's a special die that you can actually lace ribbon through going horizontal or vertical. So I haven't made my decision as to if I'm going to be doing that with this yet. We'll see, but what I am concentrating on is definitely the front and turning this into something that you can put something inside of. So I thought we'd go ahead and get going. I will get the things cut out and we'll start putting it together. Okay, so I was going to be a little bit disappointed because it appears this die is a little bit bigger than your standard base that you have now. It would fit great through the grand caliber, but this one I was very concerned. I thought I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. You can kind of see how the edges hang over. It actually fits through the machine. It goes right through and it doesn't hurt anything on the machine. I am not guaranteeing anything or saying this is what you should do. It's what I did, and I just wanted to show you how it does work. So I've already cut one out, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how this worked. Straight out of the die cutting machine, you can see that it still cut the piece the way that it needed to be cut. So I'm just letting you know it did work and my machine, and I actually used the Spellbinders Platinum 6 and it worked. But again, like I said, I don't want to guarantee anything for anybody. But I did not have a problem putting that through. So I'm going to continue on getting mine cut out so I can make this. Okay, so more about the die. This is the sides to the die to put it together. And then remember I told you you could either use a die that would make it go the ribbon horizontal, or you would have it so that it would go vertical. And I really like the vertical one. So basically what you do is you pull one of these out. It's stuck really well. And basically you line that up inside. Actually, this would help you line it up the best. Is you put that inside and then line that up in there to where it's supposed to go. And that's what you would do. and then you would cut out 2 of those. But not, if you don't want this one, you have to take that one out. So if you want yours to go this way, you have to keep that one in. I hope that makes sense. That's how that goes. Okay, so the next step is to make your things with a latch at the top. And so they have like a little flap and then a little hole opening. So that's all I did, was I did that so that they would come together at the top, and you would just basically press that into that little slot, and it'll stay together up at the top. So that's what that was for. Now the next thing is I'm just going to put one side together because I'm going to decorate the other side. So technically this will be it could be the front or the back, doesn't really matter. So it doesn't matter how these go on. It really doesn't. So what I'm doing is I did go ahead and crease that, and then I creased the ends of these, because these have to butt up against there and then come over on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and put some score tape on both of these, because then what ends up happening is you'll end up joining the front to the back, but not yet. So we're going to butt that right up against. I think that's close enough. Just like that, so that it's lined up on the bottom. I'm going to take that tape off, just like that. I have electricity in my hands. Okay, and then put that over. We're going to do the same with this one. Butt that up and put that over. So now we have basically our bag, and it's going to come around like this, like I showed you in the little latch up here. And then this piece will have to be attached to here. I guess I could really do that now if I wanted to. It doesn't really matter, because I'm going to decorate the outside of it before I latch it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I can see right here where I need to add that tape. It's really not hard to construct this. It's just understanding how it is constructed, and to know that even though it's a large die, I did get that to work in Platinum 6, but again, I'm not guaranteeing. I don't want anybody to have, if they do it wrong, a wrong way, I don't want to be responsible for that, but I tried it, and I was successful. So, but there was a little bit of space between the platinum base, so it actually fit through. So, anyway, let's get this set up. All right, so that'll be how this will go together. And then all these little notches here, they get bent and they'll hook together, and then you'll be able to close your book. That's how that works. But right now, the next step is I'm going to be decorating, and I'm going to decorate both sides. So in order to do that, I'm trying to say, yes, the piece that I need, they have two pieces sitting here. Let me show you. They have two pieces sitting here. There's an outline of that die. It looks like a wheel die. And so you have two choices, or actually you have three choices here. This one looks like it comes right to the edge if you don't want, well, it's pretty close. This is what I'm going to use, because what they did is they had one of these dies, you know, to back it. So, or I go on top, but I'm going to be using the folder, and I think this will work fine. I don't think I'm not going to use a mat for it. So I'm going to be cutting out two black pieces, and then I'm going to fussy emboss it through here. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cut and show you. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I cut two of these black not even half circles, or a bit more than half circles, And then I fussy place this, if you want to say that, into the embossing folder. I want to again tell you how you get, it doesn't really matter with this because it's black, I can flip it on either side. But basically if you want the raised side up, you always remember the part that's pushed down is the part you want it to be up against. The part that you want the top to be will be the part, I'll make sure I got that right. I think that's correct. Doesn't really matter with this. Let me see. Yeah, this part I want up. So this is the way it's going to go. Anyway, this worked perfectly because of the line at the bottom. I'm still going to be able to get that flower in there. I think I am going to move it over slightly, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to slightly move that over so that flower is a little bit more in there. Well, I don't know. I kind of liked it centered. So it lines up with the bottom on here. If you want this part, you could also do this side. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just choosing to do that part. I'm going to go ahead and run that through the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Again, this part was the raised part, and then this part was the debossed part. So this is a way that you want to do it if you want this part facing up. Look how beautiful that is just by itself. So I'm going to put a little bit of wax and stuff on it before I put it on, but basically it's just going to go on that just like that, and it looks beautiful. So I'm just trying to say that you can combine things, different companies, and make really cool looking projects. So I'm going to go ahead and make the same thing for the back side. Okay, so I've got these really great waxes I've had for a while in my stash. This one's Opal Magic, Turquoise Satin, and it looks like it's white, but when you actually put it on, it has like a blue look to it. I want to be careful I don't touch everything. But so when you put it on, you can see what I'm saying. It's really pretty. Let me get a little closer. It's kind of like, though right now I'm just kind of painting with my finger, getting this on. And you really want to kind of take your time. So I just put a little bit on my finger. But I'm sure you can use, there's other products on the market, just this is what I had in my stash. And so I thought I'm just going to use this. Because I think there's a lot of new things that you can do this with now, too. I'm not sure if this is still on the market, to be honest, because I've had it for a while. But waxes work great on this black. The gold will be pretty on here. I think I'm going to do the center parts of the flower. You can see how easy this really is just with your finger. And it's got a really nice look. See how pretty? It's really quite pretty. I think that, I don't know what all that's on the market right now. You really need to check in terms of waxes. I am not up to date on the current. I think I've seen the lunar paste. I'm not sure if that would work. It's a paste instead of a wax. Not really sure. But that's all I would do in terms of the flower, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the gold in the center. I'll go ahead and do that right now, just so you can see what it looks like, how to do that. This one again is from Prima. It's called Firebird, and it is it's really nice. It's a really pretty gold. And again, I'm just going to go in the center there. This one's a little bit drier. But you can see how that makes it look, it really pops on the black and looks really pretty. I'm probably going to add some petals probably from that other color. But the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I got the gold out. I'm just going to go around the edge of it with my finger. Just to highlight that a little bit. Gives it a little bit of an edge, and it kind of almost looks a little vintage with that. And then I do have another could either make the leaves gold, or I have another wax I could add. So, but I'm just trying to show you, it's pretty easy to do with your finger, just to add that wax. It makes it look really pretty. So I think to stay with the gold, I think I'm just going to do the leaves in the gold. I think it'll work. And what makes this easier is the fact that these are raised. Like I said, if you just take your time, if you're using your finger, it's not going to really hurt if it, and I'm not using a lot, it's not going to really hurt if it gets a little bit on the flower or behind. It's just got like a kind of vintagey look to it. So it's kind of pretty. And you can see how easy it is for me to apply this. And that's what's really special about these 3D folders now. So I'm going to put a little bit on the edge of the flower just to highlight it. All right, and then I'm going to come back in, go wipe off my finger, and get the petals on this one. And then I'm going to do the same for the second. I made exactly the same. I did emboss the same part, but you can emboss any parts and just do this. It works really, really well. So I am going to highlight that little bit with the gold. Gives it kind of an antique look. Okay, so we've got the one side done. So we can see how that looks. I think that's really pretty how that turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the other side and pull out some ribbon and get this together. Okay, so now I've got the two pieces on each side, and I need the ribbon to be thread through here. And I wanted to show you that there is a way to thread those through, because you're going to want to make a bow at the top. You can. So basically, so that you can make a tie, you want your end piece to be on the outside. So you don't want to come from underneath here. You want to come from on top. So basically, it's going to be like sewing in and out, or up and down, however you like to think of it. But you're going to want to pull enough so that this will go all the way through, and you're going to be able to tie at the other end. Even if it's a little bit longer, you can always cut it off. But that's basically how I do it. And I'm just going to go ahead and go in and out and in and out, and I'll be back just to show you what that looks like. Okay, I stopped for a second because I wanted you to see why it was really important how you thread this through for where your ribbon is going to be if you want it on the inside, which I think you do. So again, when you start so that it's on the outside. And then as we get to this point right here, this is our last little slot. That will make it so that the ribbon will go inside, if you can see what I'm saying, and not on the outside. And then I'll come back up here on this side just to show you the inside, what that looks like. It's twisted, but I'll untwist it just a second. Okay, and the thing of it is, you can really, I'll probably use double-sided tape to make sure that stays down on the bottom. When I get done, I'll put double-sided tape. And then you just continue on the side with going in and out, in and out. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so this is, like I said, the inside, and I did put tape just in this part, not up here, because it's going to bend anyway. And also this little slot, make sure you don't string it through that one. This is your clasp, remember, at the top. So you want to make sure you don't string your ribbon through that, although it's not a big deal if you started at the other end. It doesn't matter. All right, so to put this together, basically these pieces come up, right? And then these all have score lines to bend in. I didn't bend them all, but it's not that big of a deal. You just bend all those and you hook them together. Of course, if your fingers want to cooperate with you, you hook them together. There we go. Just had to get in the right place. So all of these will hook together. We'll do that for now. But I want to show you how this does go together. I don't know why they're being obstinate. So we take that little thumb part, and now it goes together like a little book. And then we'll have this ribbon piece that we can tie up at the top. There's other options. If you look at the cover, you can thread this through a really pretty, let me show you. They're kind of like little they look like little locks, but actually, if you look close at this right here, they thread the ribbon through it, so you can even add that element. That looks really, really cool. I did not cut that out. And then basically you just tie your bow up here at the top, just like that. And they actually have their ribbon just coming down the sides too, if you want to do that. So let's cut that. If I put there they are. So they just cut that. I always cut this at a slant so it doesn't unravel like it is in this already. Okay. So that's what our little box looks like. Really super cute. And then, like I said, there's an option where you can make a mini album and put that inside by using these other pieces. And there's also a really pretty tag, which I think I probably will add, and I'll put that in the picture. There's a little love tag that can go on the outside of that. There's a lot more, like I said, a lot of options here for you to pick from to make this look really, really pretty. Like I could put probably, I don't know, I need to check all this stuff out. Because I was just doing a basic one just to show you how this really is really super cute. I mean, you could really just set that out as a decoration. I think it's really pretty. So that's what it looks like. There's your ribbon. And again, like I said, you don't even have to. I saw another video where they didn't do the ribbon. They just covered this with paper instead of doing the ribbon. But I like how that comes together to tie. So I hope you enjoyed that. And like I said, right now there's a special order going on where you can get both of these items in the DiesRUs store. And like I said, this one is a Devotion Vanity, a box and memory book die set. Because there's pieces, like I said, you can make the pages. It just does not have the, what is that called? It just does not have the spine. The only thing that's missing from this is a spine. You can make the book. You just can't make the spine. And then also there's a lot of Lisa Horton's 3D embossing folders, and that's what we used. So again, I'll have that information below. And like I said, that was just really fun to make. It was a fun thing to make this afternoon. So I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much.